Welcome back mga kabarangay. Magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat. Ako po inyong kaibigan sa Impapawid ng inyong Direk Rene. Magandang gabi po. Dito po sa ating barangay New Zealand powered by Netkapihan. Kumusta po kayo? At sana po ay nasa mabuting kalalagyan. At tayo po sa Aotearoa, New Zealand, medyo gumaganda-ganda na po ang panahon. Pero lumalamig naman. Lang ang ulan, malamig naman. Pero anyway, ngayon mainit po. Ngayong gabing ito ay mainit po ito ating podcast dahil we have several gentlemen who will, walk with us and tell us a bit about the Filipino martial arts. Diba? Alam natin yan, yung arnis, yung mga kung ano-anong alam natin. Pero ito yung mga eksperto na magkukwento sa atin at magsasabi at maengganyo tayo. No? Ako nga, inumpisa na ni Sir Chris Sabi niya sa akin kasi hindi naman kasi ako yung practitioner. I mean, an aficionado. So umpisa na po natin. Una po nating papasok sa stream si Sir Chris Aro. Hi Sir Chris, magandang gabi po.
Magandang gabi, Direk Rene, at magandang gabi po sa lahat ng ating mga taga-subaybay. Magandang araw, magandang umaga, saan man kayong sulok ng mundo mga kababayan. Buhay kayo.
Okay, si Sir Chris po ay he is part of the Philippine embassies. Well known, I met him last year almost on the same day yata kasi nandito kayo at nagbigay ng talk. And also from a fellow Aucklander, si Franco Nobles. Hi Franco, magandang gabi.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening Franco. Si Franco is also a practitioner of martial arts. And then we have I was fortunate to meet Richard Reyes from Wellington last year May. Good evening, Richard.
Hello po kay Rene and good evening to everyone. Magandang gabi po sa inyo lahat. Ug maayong gabi sa atong tanan.
And then we also have a good friend from Hamilton, si Troy. Hi Troy.
Ay, magandang gabi, Direk Rene, kumusta? Long time no see. Salamat sa imbita dito.
Thank you so much also. And from Rotorua, si Antonio. Hi Antonio.
Kumusta po, Direk Rene, at magandang gabi sa lahat at maayong gabi kung sa Bisaya pa.
Oy, maayong gabi yun. And belated congratulations on your achievement. No? Last year pa yata yun. Yung gumraduate ka in a very something course. Congratulations, Antonio.
Salamat po.
Salamat. A good friend natin. At palagi ko itong binibida sa mga estudyante ko Kasi yung mga estudyante ko na sabi ko, kung gusto nyong ayaw nyo na mag-aral, gusto nyong pumasok sa New Zealand Defense Force, meron po tayong kaibigan na sa New Zealand Army, si Sergeant Ray Trinidad. Hi Ray, magandang gabi Ray.
Magandang gabi Direk, magandang gabi sa inyong lahat at sa lahat ng mga nakikisubaybay dito sa podcast mo. It's good to be back talking to you and it's always a pleasure to catch up with the martial arts gentlemen that we see here with us tonight.
Thank you so much Ray. And of course we have another guest who is also a practitioner of martial arts. He is from Tauranga, based in Tauranga. We have Juan Miguel. Hello Juan Miguel.
Kumusta po? Hi everyone. I'm learning a little bit of Bisaya, and I have a good now here. Antonio is teaching me a few words also. Yeah. So it's an honor to be here in this meeting. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much. And of course, as I mentioned earlier, from time to time, Miguel will be speaking probably in Filipino, but we will make it Taglish, no? So I think you are the people who are coordinating the technical working group of in New Zealand of this vibrant, what's this? How should I call it? Is it a Filipino sports or what is it? And later on, I will ask you, are there women involved in the technical working group? So I will ask Sir Chris, How did this group came about?
I see. Thank you very much, Direk Rene, for giving us this platform to explain what it is that we're planning to do. So this initiative of ours actually began when I started practicing here in Wellington. So I arrived in Wellington in May of 2023, and I had been a practitioner of Philippine martial arts before. So of course I tried to see whether there were any practitioners here in Wellington. Given the number of Filipinos that we have here in New Zealand, I thought to myself, maybe there is somebody who's practicing. And eventually, that search led me to Guru Richard here, Guru Richard Reyes of Calis Illustrissimo, Wellington. And during the time when I was training with him, of course, I asked if there was already an association of Filipino martial arts practitioners here in New Zealand. Long story short, although there are a lot of practitioners, there hasn't been any attempt to unify or create an association whereby we can come together and hold events as a group. So I suggested to Guru Richard if it would be a good idea for us to sort of talk to the different Filipino martial arts practitioners all over New Zealand and broach this idea of creating an association. Filmaa, or Philippine Martial Arts Association, is actually not a new concept. This was I was inspired by what our countrymen in Saudi Arabia actually did. When I was posted in Riyadh, they already on their own they established Filmaa, Philippine Martial Arts Association there, and I helped them by giving them the support of the embassy to have them have the officers sworn in for one. Unfortunately, they launched a Filmaa right before the COVID pandemic, so they hadn't taken off as much as we would have liked. I had already left Saudi Arabia in 2020, so I didn't get to see the fruits of their labor there yet. But now that we're in New Zealand, I thought that maybe this is something that we can do here, that we can replicate here. We do have a lot of nationals here. The latest census in 2023 already said that we are over 100,000 all over. So that's a pretty big community, and it's we see a lot of opportunity. We in the Philippine Embassy, the ambassador included, sees a lot of opportunity to promote Philippine culture here in New Zealand, to raise awareness about who we are as a people, what's our identity. And she knows that I am a practitioner of martial arts as well. So she gave me her blessing and an instruction to, okay, you try to help the community put that together, Chris, and we will support you. And again, long story short, what's going to happen on June 7 is actually we're going to be part of the Fiesta Filipinas.
The Independence Day.
Independence Day, yes. I understand that the Fiesta Filipinas is currently the biggest Filipino community organized event that commemorates Philippine Independence Day in New Zealand. So there's quite a big crowd that's going there, and the organizer, Mr. Mel Fernandez, has been so gracious to the Filipino community. He's given many opportunities for different organizations within the Filipino community to be part of that event. And I have to mention here that it was actually Brother Ray Trinidad who made first contact with him, and I just helped set the deal in stone, so to speak. So now we have a platform. We're part of the event. We have a booth there, and it's really an exciting opportunity for us because a lot of us here, we haven't met each other personally yet. So we're hoping that this would be one of those catalyst events where we can make our presence felt, and maybe draw some other practitioners and instructors and even gurus who are probably in the country. And our hope really is to associate ourselves into a formal organization that will agree to on some basic rules on how to engage and interact with each other, with the ultimate aim of holding regular activities related to Filipino martial arts. I was telling the group that actually next year we'll be celebrating the 60th anniversary of our diplomatic relations with New Zealand.
Okay.
So that's a very again a good opportunity for us to organize a big event for Filipino martial arts, and we're hoping that by next year we would have sort of established a group already so that we can hold our first tournament in New Zealand. And our hope is that we can make, aside from promoting Filipino martial arts here in New Zealand, we can make New Zealand a possible hub for international tournaments, international seminars related to Filipino martial arts.
All right. Yeah. So I'd like to ask, because we're calling Richard as guru, so probably ask Richard, why are you called a guru?
There is this calling about when you teach something, like in the Tagalog word for guru. If you teach something, you become a guru. I at first wasn't actually into that idea of me being called guru, but you just can't stop people from calling you that. I mean, I think that
You're a
is their
teacher.
way of showing respect to you, which is I actually really appreciate. So it's just how they call me, and so I appreciate
But
being called guru.
yeah, but aside from
I
being
don't claim to be better than anyone else
yes,
of
but
being
aside
called
from
guru that way, but I just had the opportunity of being asked to teach a group of people here in Wellington. So from then on, they just call me guru, and they just let that be. If they call me guru, if they call me by my first name, if they call me Brad, or I don't really mind.
okay. So
Yeah,
a guru, as you were saying, is a guru, like a teacher, right? So I
it's like a
understand.
teacher. Yes.
I think that is a sign of respect because of your years of in the field of martial arts. So eto Richard, sa Pilipinas pa lang, we're already involved in martial arts, and I'll ask the same thing sa lahat.
Actually, I started Filipino martial arts here in. I have snippets of Filipino martial arts here and there, like Doce Pares here and there. Um, Only when I got here in New Zealand, sometime after COVID time, that I was introduced to Calis Illustrissimo. And luckily for me, I got introduced to Coach Arnold Narzo of Calis Illustrissimo Repetition Original, or Kiro. This is my group here. Um, so it just started from there, and I was hooked. Well, honestly, Kuya Rene, Direk Rene, if you remember coming here, I was at first a blade collector. So I am a
Yes.
collector of traditional Filipino blades, but looking at these blades, and I try to play with them sometimes, and all of a sudden I don't know how to use these blades, to be honest.
Oh,
So
okay.
then came the idea of, how about if I learn Filipino martial arts? And luckily for me, I got hold of Coach Arnold Narzo, who trains in Luneta. He is the chief instructor of Calis Illustrissimo Repetition Original. He is the direct lineage of Tony Diego. Now Tony Diego, God rest his soul, he was a direct student of the original Tatang Illustrissimo.
Tatang.
Everybody, he is well known all over the world of his prowess, of his martial arts. He's a genius in the field of Filipino martial arts as well. A master of the blade. So Grandmaster Tatang Illustrissimo taught Tony Diego, and when they both passed on, Coach Arnold Narso took the helm of propagating Calis Illustrissimo to
Okay.
locally in the Philippines and the world. And I'm
Okay.
fortunate enough to have that that stint of learning from directly from him.
Mhm. So I'll come back to Richard about Wellington. I'd like to go to Auckland. I know Franco has his group on a Saturday morning. Is it, Franco? You do your exercises. You've been inviting me, but sa Auckland Museum, right? So tell us
Yeah.
about your what you're doing, Franco.
So at the moment, depending on who's available, the Saturday morning is a very, very casual group. We just turn up. We've all gone through it for so many years. It's become a support group. So all of the old guys will turn up if they want to. We'll work some old things. We'll try and jog our memory and do things that we haven't done for 15 years. And depending on on how we feel, we'll spar a little bit, and then we'll wander down to the market for food. So,
Mm.
and it's a good way to introduce new people. So if new people want to come along, because it is very casual, because we don't push as hard as we used to, because we're all in our 50s now. We are very, very careful and mindful about injuries, and in the grass, you can slip quite easily. So, but we have a lot of different influences. We started off with Bakbakan Kali Illustrissimo, which was through Master Ray Galang in Australia. I ended up segueing to Pahat Zubu, which is Master Yuli Romo, one of Tatang Illustrissimo's students as well, contemporary of Tony Diego. And then I ended up somehow getting invited to apply to Screamer with Master Virgil Cavada and did some time with him. And most recently, I ended up getting an instructor certificate with Black Eagle Eskrima through Terry Lolbeck in Australia, which is nice. It's a very, very distilled system where a one is definitely a one, and there's nothing else to it. So it's good. It's good, and there's a few of us.
And I understand in the last Pistang Filipino here in Auckland last October, your group, I wasn't able to attend it, but your group had like an exhibition. What was it?
No, we had the availability we had a space available if we wanted it. The park was huge, so it didn't really matter. Anyone could do anything.
All right.
So I put feelers out to see if anyone wanted to do anything and just play, and no one was quite keen to jump in and do anything. I think back then people up in Auckland were still a bit cagey about doing weapons work in a park.
Yes.
We in the museum we do not do anything with aluminium, and we don't do anything with a blade. Everything is stick, because we don't want the random people. And there's a lot of random museums.
Of course. Yes. All right.
Yeah.
So
we just had.
You just had what, Franco?
We had a space available. So.
Yeah. Okay. Now, how about Troy? Because from my recollection, Troy, you were teaching or training not martial arts, was it? I mean, I'm thunders na ako, matanda na ako, Troy. I'm getting old, so maybe I forgot. What I recall is on a Sunday, you have the kids like, is it Aikido, Jiu-Jitsu, or something like that, Troy?
Yeah, no. Before I started with Filipino martial arts, I had a background in Taekwondo. So, but that was like ages ago. And I remember when I got my son to do Taekwondo with Master, I forgot his name, but he lives in Hamilton. So when he put up his own Taekwondo class, so I just jumped in there and did some kicks and all, and then suddenly my Achilles tendon snapped, and then I said, "Oh, looks like I'm too old for this." I mean, I was like what 40-ish years old, and I was like doing kicks and everything, flashy stuff. But suddenly I heard the snap, and I was like asking the master, "Oh, maybe it was just like a dislocation. Can you try pull it?" And obviously he didn't want it because he didn't know whether it was a bone or a nerve. So anyway, started off with Taekwondo, but the interest in Filipino martial arts came about, well, clearly when I was still in college. So I graduated from University of Santo Tomas, So our our physical education there was basically our niece. So personally
Oh,
taught
okay.
by Grand Remy Presas. So my first taste of Arnis was modern Arnis,
Mhm.
uh, and then from there I wanted really to venture into it. So but I think the desire to really focus on training and maybe sharing was when I got into New Zealand. I was trying to find a school or just to to have a play with, just like what Frank was doing, like just to be in a group and then do some
Mhm.
stuff. But I couldn't search any group in Hamilton, so I said maybe I'll just put up a group, like a social group, a peer group, a study group. Like I
Mhm.
have the skills, I can just maybe um, teach a thing or two. So so that was back 2016. So I remember back then we started with a very small sort of area in
Mm.
Bader Street. So anyway, so started off from there with just a handful of people. I mean, I think I put up a Facebook page, or maybe I was like having a
Mm.
flyer, like giving it
Yeah.
to I think to one of the Filipino stores, and then
Mhm.
frankly, the people that got interested were non-Filipinos. So
Mm.
majority of the people who joined my group were non-Filipinos, which made me think that is this worth really having? Like I was hoping that I could get more
Mhm.
Filipinos to join in, because
Mhm.
after all, it's a Filipino martial art. But I
Yeah.
think more people, more non-Filipinos, are more interested in our art. So,
Mhm.
but yeah, I mean, so I put up that club, started off with two or three. I was teaching basic arnis. And apart from that, I was also doing tabak tuyok, or the Filipino nunchucks. So those were my two specialties. So,
Mhm.
but when COVID struck, clearly I mean, I think most of us would agree with me on this one. Clearly, you couldn't train. I mean, there's
Yeah.
no facility to even get together,
Mhm.
isn't it? So I have had to stop. Like for I think 2 years, I stopped,
Mhm.
and then I was never wanting to go back to teaching anymore because I've been spending so much quality time with the family, and the missus actually didn't want me to do it because of my age. But former students were like clamoring for the club to be open again. So I had
Mhm.
to get permission from my missus. Happy
Mhm.
wife, happy life, isn't it? So
Okay.
so she has to be happy first. So I explained to her that
Mhm.
okay, I'll be careful, blah blah blah. And then
Mhm.
yeah, I mean back I think only 2023 I think I restarted the group, and then now we are about like 10 people, or 10
Mm.
10, yeah,
That's
10 to
good.
11 people. So
Yeah.
we're continuously growing, and my discipline or my system is a hybrid of balintawak, but with a twist of modern Arnis and some aspects of other balintawak, because balintawak has, well, it's one system.
Mhm.
You've got different masters who might put a twist on it already.
Mhm.
So that's what one I am actually into. But predominantly, it's more on Bobby Tabawada's Grandmaster Bobby Tabawada's Kentada system
Yeah.
that we are
It,
doing in our club.
it's interesting to know that each area is focusing on a particular type of martial arts. And Troy, I remember, I think it's Rolly Paterno. He is a
Yes,
retired
yes,
coach of the Philippine Taekwondo team.
Taekwondo. Yes.
Migrated here, so he's
Mm.
like the coach of the Philippine Taekwondo. So he's still in Hamilton. I thought he went to Wellington
Um,
already.
I'm not sure. I have not seen him for ages, but yeah, I
Mm.
remember. Yeah, it was him who actually put up the taekwondo club where my son used to go to, and I was trying to help him out because
Yes.
it's very difficult to teach young kids, and then you've only got like one coach. So since I've got
Mm.
background in taekwondo as well, I was like helping him out. But I think I got carried away. I was seeing the kids having the fun, so I jumped in and I was try kicking, not having enough a warm up, and then there you go. I mean,
Yeah.
the Achilles tendon just simply gave way.
Hearing from you and say hi to your wife,
Ah,
Troy's
yes,
wife. I
Rhodes.
knew her when I was teaching in Miriam College.
Yes,
She wasn't my student, but she was there when I was teaching. So say hi to
yes,
her.
will do.
As a teacher, I'm looking at the potential of incorporating these things in physical education. We have PE
Yes,
teachers, Filipino PE teachers already, or even if non-Filipinos, so slowly, probably. Antonio, based in Rotorua, and I know Ray travels there Saturdays just to train. Can you tell us about what you're doing in Rotorua, Antonio?
Yeah, just a little bit of background. So I, with my Eskrima journey, lineage, so I am a direct student of Grandmaster Pacifico Taneo, who is a direct student of Larry Alquizar, and who studied under Fernando Candawan, and who Fernando Candawan affiliates himself with the Doce Pares family, like
Mm.
Kakoy Cañete. So in terms of my Eskrima, I am blessed to be surrounded by a lot of Escrimadors way back home. So when you are born on the 70s, grow up on the 80s, so it was a different era. So martial arts was a thing. So I have my informal study with my grandfather and with my uncles, but
Mhm.
later to find out that they were training with one of Ising Atilio during that time, and then I later learned that man was Ising Atilio. So yeah, so I was blessed, and I have been active with my Eskrima journey, been really active in the year 2012. So my group Tira Binta started as street survival defense tactic. So because I was a
Mhm.
police officer in the Philippines,
Ooh,
mostly Cebu City's finest for 16 years.
wow. Thank you for
So
your service.
yeah, and then I used to be a defensive tactics instructor with one of the biggest security training agency way before. So I was starting to
Mhm.
really work with my martial arts thing, promoting street survival tactics, mostly with employees, workers who are employed by the hotels, and women's empowerment. So as far of the Tirabinta later on transition to an Eskrima focused thing, when I realized there were a lot of out of school youths
Mm,
and
mhm.
are yeah out of school youths who are interested in participating tournaments, but however they could not because you need to be a member of a club to be able to join the tournaments. So that's why I started my Tira Binta as a youth program. So I have 50 students with me. So we've participated on different Eskrima tournaments way back then. So I was officially been a member of the Philippine Eskrima Kali Arnis Federation, spearheaded by Senator Mig Subiri. So I personally met with Mig
Ah, so
Subiri
big.
during that
Okay.
time on 2017. So yeah, so I was blessed and met a lot of Eskrima legends from Cebu City, such as Bobby Tabuada, Nick Elizar, Celestino Macachor, um, heaps. There's heaps. Even Kakoy, Manong Kakoy Cañete, the Cañete brothers. Yeah, so as part that's the part of my Eskrima journey. So when I arrive here in New Zealand, so I'll have this intention of really promoting the art to the children as part of our
Mm.
cultural heritage. Um,
Yes, yes.
because when I arrived here, as you can see, the Maori people it's very overwhelming when you see the Maori people trying to really bring their culture back, want to speak Reo,
Mm.
and yet we, the Filipinos, kind of lost something like like a cultural identity.
Mhm.
So that was my intention. So I've tried to train children, and then later on, I was so just like anybody else here. I've been when I arrived here, I was trying to look for scream Filipino martial arts group that I could
Mhm.
connect, but there's nothing way back then. So it was hard.
Okay.
So it was good. I met Ray. So most of my students are from Tauranga, but for
Oh,
the adult students are from Tauranga. But for my the children's
okay.
students that I had is from Rotorua.
Okay. That's very good.
And then I think it was 2021 before pandemic happened. The pandemic COVID happened. My group was invited to present during Waitangi Day.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Yeah, so
That's
we were on
amazing.
the big so that and they were surprised, and many people came over and
Mm.
um, thanked me for presenting the culture to them.
Mhm. That's
I think
very
that's
good.
me.
Mm.
All right. Thank you.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Oh, we'll continue with that. How about Ray? Your involvement with the Filipino martial arts. Where did it start, Ray?
Um, so I guess I started like just about every kid in the Philippines. I originally started out in karate. I was a fat little kid, and they thought it'd be a good idea to get me into something. And I wasn't able to continue that, but over the years, I've sort of dabbled in a lot of things, judo. Um, and I remember there was a gym near where I used to live in San Juan, Manila, and they offered FMA. So I went in and I did a few classes, and I was really enjoying it. But unfortunately, that gym shut down.
Mm.
That pretty much put a stop to that. Years later, I moved to New Zealand, got back to karate, got up to fairly okay level with it. But I was always, in the back of my mind, I was always wanting to get back to the FMA. And I met a guy who was a direct student of GM Bobby Tabuada, a guy called Logan Bragg, who was a police officer. And he came to our gym one day, and he started training with us. And we found out he was an FMA practitioner. So he was running us through it. We set up a class with him on a regular basis. Unfortunately, he was a dairy farmer. I'd left the police force, went dairy farming, and had to move. So that put a stop to that one. So I got into other things just to make up for the lack of activity. I got really big into Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and Muay Thai. Had a few fights in Muay Thai and boxing, a couple of concussions. So I ended up doing grappling now, so I don't get hit in the head as much. And then I was like, I've really got to find an FMA group somewhere. And so I started posting on the two Filipino groups here in Tauranga. And one of Tata's friends gave me his number, and I made contact. Went all the way to Rotorua. I was actually there for work. Probably surprised when I turned up. I was in full uniform, standing on the street. I was like, "Holy!" But yeah, it's been quite an interesting journey, and it's something I want to carry on a bit longer because I did
That's
have that disconnect between myself and our culture for a very long time. Living here, I didn't really know too many Filipinos. My partner is English, and it's just slowly over the last few years that I'm starting to reconnect with that, picking up the
good.
language, a lot of the culture, the martial arts, and I'm even learning how to cook some of our traditional dishes. So yeah, you go.
That's good to know, Ray. He forgot to mention that he was also an actor when he was in the Philippines. Yeah. He just slide it. Now let's go to Juan Miguel. So, what's your involvement with the martial arts?
Well, I will give at the beginning some context. Probably at the same in every part of the world, in Chile, the main martial arts are Chineses or, or Japaneses or the Korean martial art. So at the beginning, I started training Kung Fu in my hometown, Quillota, in the center of the Chile. From many years, I was really happy with that. But at some point, I start to see that I need something that is more practical for self-defense in the street for our context. So essentially weapons, short weapons. And that was the time that I started to explore other type of martial arts. I moved to the capital and I found one instructor that he was practicing Balintawak with Eddie Velez in Cebu. He went there many times, and also he was also a family friend of Danilo Santos, so he went to stay to train with him. And then I met another guy from Doce Pares in Chile, and after a few months, I realized that the thing that I want to learn is Filipino martial art. I saw that beside the cultural thing, because every martial art have element of culture, it is really practical. So at that moment, I made my mind. 1 year later, I quit my job, sell everything, and I flew to the Philippines.
Wow.
So I didn't know that you speak Tagalog and Bisaya. My English was really poor. So at the beginning, it was a challenge to communicate with everyone because I was speaking just Spanish. But I knew that I want to train a martial art that has the defensive aspect. So from the whole range of martial arts, because you have beautiful variety with different weapons, I select a Barao Subo Arnis Diablo because focus in defense from a short weapon, a knife, with empty hand. That is what the style is doing, just defense about, and that is what essentially happened in Chile. You go to do your groceries, and sometimes there is the bad guy waiting for you with a weapon. So that fit the actual thing that happened in the street. You never are with a machete or bolo in case that something happened. So I found that that martial art fit what I want to do, and I had the really good luck that Grandmaster Ceniza, he's a great human being, really good instructor, and he introduced me with Willie Panal, so I trained with them a few times. I mean, I went to the Philippines by memory 3 times. And in the last time, I had the luxury to train with Master Gran Celestino, Grandmaster Celestino Macachor, who is doing Estocada de Campo. So it's larga mano stick fighting. And what do you think? Grandmaster Ceniza and Grandmaster Celestino are friends of this guy that is there in the team, Antonio. So they say, Miguel, when you return to the Philippines, you should visit our friend and you need to carry on your training with him. So the last time that I went to the Philippines, that was 1 year ago, I did my training. I got one book from Master Celestino to get better understanding of the origin of the martial art of your culture. I came to New Zealand, I contacted Antonio, and now I'm training with Antonio Tirabinta. Fantastic complement with what I'm doing, and also in Tauranga teaching Barao Sugbo system. So that is generally speaking.
You know, all of these rich experiences and your training that you're doing, I think your group is working on the right path of putting it all together, and then and I think your baptism of fire probably for the public would be on June 7th, wherein all of you will be there. You're having a booth. And as an educator, I always look at how can kids be involved in this one. On June 7th, I don't know. There's this group called the Pinoy Kayak Fishing Club, no, PKFC. So I think they're also planning to put a booth there to encourage people to go kayak fishing. So this is a wonderful opportunity for the community to see what can be done. So in with your group, which would be like you have so many things, but ano yung pinaka like you want to focus most for now because you're planning to have something for next year. Anyone in the group?
Is it okay? So one of the main purpose of us creating this group is which is probably the hardest to do, Kuya Rene, if you understand the culture of Filipino martial arts. Even since time in memoriam, during Spanish time, we have been very secretive. All right, so it's really hard for to flush people out of their comfort zones. So one of our objectives is to know more practitioners here in New Zealand, so we can create a group. We're talking about hundreds of systems, Filipino martial arts systems in the Philippines that exist to date. And
Oh.
we're just how many? About 6 or 7 people who are practicing, about 7 or 8
That we
systems
know of. Yeah.
that we know of.
Yeah.
So so hopefully this will encourage people to come out and share their skills and their talents, and those things that have been handed down from generation to generation. Those are the very people that we would like to tap, so and join our group. This is so for the information of everyone, I think we all agree that this isn't only a Filipino group. So we have practitioners, Kiwis, Americans all over the world who are here in New Zealand who would like to. We would love to train with you. We would love to know your lineage and how you came about with Filipino martial arts, and that is the sole, probably one of the main purpose of this group.
Do you have like a video of, like, for example, this is the type of arnis or martial arts, so something that viewers can see, oh, I'd like to know that, I'd like to practice that. Do you have something like that, like snippets only, like,
Yes.
because that would
Perhaps,
encourage some people.
yeah, perhaps Direk Rene. One video that you can look at is the promotional video that's found on the website of the Philippine Eskrima Kali Arnis Federation. They have a very
Okay.
good video there. There's a documentary where Senator Zubiri was being interviewed about how far Philippine martial arts has gone. So it is true. I believe anybody who's had a contact with Filipino martial arts will know that it's very difficult to find a group that you can that can teach you. You really have to go out of your way, even for a Filipino. If you want to look for a master or a practitioner, it's all about connections. I think many martial arts, like in China, for example, it's the same way. It started out the same way, where the masters are very secretive. They don't want, just anybody being taught. So I think we've reached a point wherein there's enough awareness of Filipino martial arts to try and promote it mainstream. So I think that all began with Republic Act that was passed way back in 2009, Republic Act 9850, designating Arnis as the Philippine national martial art and sport. And one thing that came out of that was the formation of the the PICAF, the Philippine Eskrima Kali Arnis Federation, which was tasked. So they're an arm of the Philippine Olympic and Sports Committee. So they were tasked to try to set up rules and regulations to have this as a regular part of the curriculum in the Philippines. So they're teaching Arnis. They're actually teaching Arnis as a physical education curriculum already, and I think we really took off in 2019 when we hosted the Southeast Asian Games, and we introduced Arnis as an event in that sport, and that's, I think, a turning point for Filipino martial arts. We were able to bring enough of the established practitioners to be part of that event, and I believe it's taken off quite a bit. It's now competing very much with the traditional martial arts. So Mr. Troy was saying that he had the background in Taekwondo. I also have a background in Taekwondo. So Taekwondo used to be very popular in the Philippines. It practically dominated the martial arts scene in the Philippines for a while. But now I understand that Arnis, Kali, and all of and FMA in general are already starting to gain traction in the Philippines. So there are regular tournaments being held now, both in forms and in combat sparring. In fact, some of the taekwondo practitioners are transitioning to
To,
FMA.
to our niece.
The biggest example would probably be Monsieur del Rosario, who's now practicing Calus Illustrissimo in the Philippines.
Oh, okay.
So we do have a
Uh,
lot of rediscovering our roots, so to speak. Yeah.
mhm. I will share this podcast with a good friend of mine. His name is Jay Ignacio. Okay, so he made a documentary about our niece. He went to the States to interview. So he's now based in Iloilo, and he's writing a book. And I was even a couple of months ago, I was telling, hey, bro, probably you can come here. And because he's coming up with a second film, still with martial arts, said maybe, so I'll share this so that he will be very happy to see that, these things is growing, and it will just continue to grow with you, with this technical working group. Now, I'd like to go to that question of mine. Is there a female in the technical working group, or do you know if, or are you still in, because it's you're just starting, so you're looking for female practitioners also of martial arts, or already of some? Richard, do you have in your group in Wellington, or?
We have female participants in our group. Yes, so um, it's more about information dissemination that has a bit of a
Mhm.
problem. I'm not sure if stigma is the word for it, but when here in New Zealand, if you talk about weapons, there's a little bit of a gray area where people don't like to cross.
No. Okay.
So they would. So Muay Thai is popular here. Taekwondo is
Mm.
popular here. Other sports, but when it comes to weapons training, like what Filipino martial arts mostly is, arnis, deals with sticks. Calis Illustrissimo deals mostly with bladed weapons and all those things. It's really hard to. I know there is an interest there, but just that first step that they're not
Mhm.
taking. So we always encourage people to join. So we have a few female practitioners who are actually really keen on learning our art.
So
So
how
at
do
the
you
moment,
break?
Kuya Rene, this is one of our statements here. We are open, so we
Okay.
don't discriminate anyone. So
Yeah.
we welcome everyone.
Mhm.
At the moment, because this group is still in its infancy. Si Troy, si Ray, si Antonio, even Franco, even Chris. Um, I only met them online most of the time. Message them, and we haven't actually really met in person.
Oh,
So
okay.
that
Mhm.
sort of obstacles that we're trying to break down. Hopefully, so that's what we are hoping to accomplish during the June 7 activity. Um,
Mhm.
Even children can learn Filipino martial arts. As
What
young
could be
as 7 or 8, they can learn Filipino martial arts. All right, it's not
what
a
could,
weapons. It's not a weapon training. That depends on the person who what they want to learn from Filipino martial arts. If it's about self defense, then it's open for self
Mhm.
defense. If you use it as a cultural reminder of a lot of children born here in New Zealand, they don't even know what arnis is.
Mhm. Mhm.
So that sort of thing, I learned this from my daughter as well, where she likes to be reminded that she is Filipino. So
Mhm.
this is probably one of the avenues that they could look into.
what
Um,
what could be what could be to break that stigma? What could be something that, I mean, having this on June 7th, that's perfect. That's but what else? It's more of education, dissemination of information. So that video that
Right.
Sir Chris was saying could probably be something also, or make it more fun. And I don't know, what could we to break the stigma? What do you think, gentlemen?
Yes, sir.
I mean,
Anyone, how
some
do you think
yeah,
in Chile, or
okay. I'll give others
so
to answer.
sorry, basically, all of the above that you said, education, dissemination. Sadly, and this is something we might want to stress on the 7th of June. Hollywood has gone into FM in a giant way. All the Bourne movies, television shows like Arrow, The Flash,
John Wick.
all of the Batman, that's all FMA.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, a lot of the public see it as something else. I've come across discussions where they say it's Krav Maga, which is Israeli. No, it's this. No, it's that. But if you actually talk to the people involved in it, they'll say no. It is hardcore FMA all the way through. So we love the movies. We can't shake the Filipinos love the movies. And if there's something that we can say, hey, if this is really big in Hollywood, it's really worth looking at. And you know, it is Filipino. It is us. It is you. Basically, that's my take on it anyway.
I think I saw what Ray is saying. I saw a post on, well, because it's May 4, so it's May the 4th. May the force be with you. So they were showing the blades, even the, like, you know, it was like they were saying it's all Filipino, like when they were fighting with the saber and all of that.
So in saying that, the actress who did Ahsoka, one of the animated Star Wars things big on TV now, is Diana Inosanto, Dan Inosanto's daughter. So she supplies movement, and then they transfer that to an animated through a process, and it comes out as animation. But she does all the moves, and I think she does the voice as well. So so there you go again with Filipinas in FMA. Diana Inosanto being one of the main proponents of women in Filipino martial arts.
That's good. That's good. And maybe drive it, you know, when you do your talks. And are you open to, like, for example, you have time to go to schools, for example, to have a talk or have a small demo or something like that? Or is it too much? Like,
yeah, maybe that's something that we can do later on once we've established ourselves. Again, this is just to emphasize the point that was raised by Guru Richard earlier. We're not, of course, it is Filipino in origin, but we do realize that, and this is something that's very ironic, that as you said earlier, Direk, Rene, that it seems that for a time, a lot of the interest in Philippine martial arts were coming from outside the Philippines, and our good friend Miguel here is a perfect example of that. He's literally sold everything he had to move to the Philippines to look for a master, and I think that's one of the main selling points of Filipino martial arts, is that it's a very practical martial art. It's born out of necessity. Miguel was saying that in his country, in Chile, it's not unusual for somebody to try and rob you at knife point. You've lived in the Philippines, Miguel, for 10 years, so I'm sure you've seen very big similarities in the way that our cultures play out. So a lot of the skills that are being trained in Filipino martial arts, these are all born out of necessity as well. Especially the knife techniques, and I think that's a big draw. That's a big draw for a lot of martial artists, that they're looking for something that's very practical. Filipino martial arts is also very, very easy in terms of training. Unlike Taekwondo, that's it's more aimed towards young practitioners, because it requires a lot of athleticism. But Filipino martial arts is less stress. It places less stress on your body, I believe. Speaking out of personal experience, compared to the other more popular martial arts. So there's a lot there's a lot that is good here that we think we can promote, not just to ourselves, not just to our own people, but something that we can show the world that's uniquely part of Filipino culture, and we believe this is something that we can contribute to everyone who's interested to learn about it.
How do our viewers and listeners get in touch with you? Is there like a contact person, a contact number, or a website, or somewhere that they can go? And I think there will be people who will be listening and watching and from, oh, I want to do that. Oh, I'm from Tauranga. Oh, yeah. So is there like a contact detail so that I can type it and show it to the public? Anyone?
We have our respective Facebook pages. So here in Wellington, we have Kiro Calis Illustrisimo Repetition Original Wellington. Waikato has Waikato FMA. Rotorua has Tira Binta. Franco, I think you also have your own Facebook page, but I would
Ah,
suggest if anyone would like to get hold of us, is to
mhm.
join Filipino Martial Arts in New Zealand group page on Facebook and go from
Okay.
there. So we ourselves are members there as well. Oh,
Okay.
Miguel has something to add.
Yes, I have a website. It's barausubo.co.nz. But just I want to point that the new generation are not having Facebook. So
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah.
so if you ask
Instagram.
them, they have
TikTok.
Instagram or they have WhatsApp. So probably if you are targeting people over 30 or over 40, they are going to have Facebook. But
Right.
if you are targeting people that are young, and especially young Filipinos that come here or kids that are family of Philippines that born here, they may not have Facebook. So having an Instagram could be a good option because most of the new generation are having Instagram. Even I was about to close my Facebook, but Antonio said about the group. Yeah.
In addition,
So yeah.
in addition to what Guru Richard said earlier about the channel for people who might be interested in learning the art. So you've got the Filipino martial arts in New Zealand Facebook page where I think there are links to the different web pages of the people here. Like you've got links to Kiro, links to Tira Binta. I think there's also a link to Barao Sugbu there, and even Guru Franco's website, Facebook page, which is Cake Central Auckland Kali Eskrima Group. So I think the first point of contact would be again the Facebook page. But I think the technical working group is looking at having its own website. It's just a matter of finding the resources to get one up and running. But once we've got a website fully up and running, we will once again advertise that in our own separate pages. And at the same time, on that Filma website and NZ website, we were thinking or planning to have a directory of verified clubs in New Zealand because there is a danger also of like the Filipino martial arts in New Zealand for one Facebook page. It's open for everyone, like both instructors and students.
Mm,
So
mhm,
what I think is going to be that one of the aims of Filma NZ is to verify the club or the group. If the gentleman here agrees, but it's to verify the group so that if I'm a person wanting to learn Filipino martial art, and if I wanted to find a true source of truth, one single source of truth, for example, or at least
Good lineage.
good lineage
mhm,
and credibility, then he could just go, or he could just go to, or she could just go to the Filma NZ website, and there's a directory there of credible and verified clubs. So I think
Practitioners. Yeah.
practitioners. So we are still in the infancy stage, and we're hoping to take the Filipino martial arts in New Zealand to the next level so that it becomes mainstream in New Zealand. So
mhm.
I think that's what we're thinking of putting
Very
up
good.
in the future.
Very, very good. Yes, Miguel.
I have a question for you, Troy. Well, for everyone. I'm coming from Chile. In Chile, martial art, like the Filipino martial art, are under the military law. It's not like karate or taekwondo that are under sport law because they're Olympic. So for the people who train martial art like Filipino, like Barao Sugbo, the military do a test to us. They get all the techniques, by the way. But the main part, they ask that we have a first aid course. They ask a psychological test, and they ensure that because they do this test in front of the other, that we have this way to teach people, and also we are like sane psychologically. When you
Right.
mean that when we have a website with the verified club, I understand the lineage because that is credibility, that is important. This person not to that. You're also thinking in a uh, police clearance or character check, so that to know that if I want to send my kid to train this Filipino martial art, that instructor is a good guy, and if something happens, he can help the kid, for instance.
Yes.
Or
That's a
Yeah, I
good
that could
think
point.
that's a very good question because I think personally, I mean, to me, those clubs or instructors who wish to be part of the Filma NZ in director listing, personally, I think we will need to do our own due diligence. I mean, again, we are still in our infancy stage. We haven't really crossed that line yet. But to me, I would love to propose that we would like to do our own due diligence. Maybe form a committee where we can interview the would-be instructor, the club, and maybe perform some vetting. I think that would actually put the Filma organization, NZ organization, in a better light as well, so that when we finally front up to people, events, or when we are invited, we have that sort of credibility and confidence to say that, hey, members who are in this Filma NZ are vetted, and then the committee has undergone its due diligence. So it's actually safe for your kids to join in and all. So similarly, the same with the students or the people who would like to learn. I think we don't just, I don't know if you guys agree, but I don't think we would just like to get everyone just coming in, because
Mm.
keep in mind
yeah.
the art that we're teaching them are weapons based. We don't want for people to use the tricks that we've given them for something, not
Unlawful acts.
for the not for the society. So I think we need to also come out in a way for us to do our own due diligence and vetting for the learners similarly. So it
That's
needs to
right.
work both
That's
ways.
correct. Yeah.
So I think
Do it
that's
the legal way. Yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Mhm. Now, gentlemen, what is anyone with the final message, or we can go around and everyone could have, your final thoughts on this. Like, what is it that you want to say to our listeners and our viewers about the Filipino martial arts? Is it like, a hobby? It's a passion. It builds character. They say, kids go into sports, and I tell this to my students that, it's character building. You learn how to lose. You learn how to win. You learn how to, So yeah, what are your thoughts? Final thoughts on 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 Filipino martial arts?
Maybe Direk, Rene, you can give us the same opportunity that you gave us at the beginning to each say our own piece. So
Oh
I'll
yes.
begin again. For the Philippine Embassy, this is part of, as I mentioned earlier, this is part of promoting our culture here in New Zealand. This is something that we believe can strengthen the already, vibrant people-to-people relations that we have with New Zealand, especially in light of the very large community that we have here. We're currently, I believe, fifth in terms of community size, ethnic community size, if I'm not
Oh.
mistaken. Yeah, so we're pretty big, but the common questions that our ambassador and myself keep encountering among the Kiwis is that they know we're Filipinos, but they know so little of us.
Mhm.
They want to
Yeah.
know more about our culture. They want to know more about
Correct.
what makes us Filipino, and why not Philippine martial arts, given its rising prominence
Mhm.
uh, in the world. So I believe this is something that we can use to build relationships, build ties with each other, and we would very much like to see the Filipino Martial Arts Association become a platform to promote this in both an official and legal way. So perhaps the Filma can later on look into being accredited locally with the proper authorities. Get the proper support from the various New Zealand agencies in charge of ethnic communities, as well as with law enforcement as well. Given that we are a martial art after all, we don't want just anybody coming in and then using Filipino martial arts to commit an unlawful act.
correct.
Crime.
Yeah. Mhm.
That's not something that we want to happen. We want it to be a positive experience. So that's what we want to do, and we, as I said, we're hoping that by the 60th anniversary of our diplomatic relations next year, we would organize the very first national level invitational tournament for Filipino martial arts here in New Zealand. So
Wow.
we're really looking forward to that.
Thank you so much, Sir Chris. Okay, Franco. We'll just go around. Like Franco.
From my point of view, people should just get out there and try it. It is one of the very few remaining true tests of self. When you pick up a stick and you fight your friends, being able to stay in that zone where you're not going to hurt them, that's tough. You gotta leave it all down. If you do not have the emotional intelligence to handle it, then it's not for everyone, and there's nothing to be ashamed of. But you're not going to know, and you're not going to be able to test yourself or challenge yourself until you try it. Clear, Rene? You coming out on Saturday morning?
I think that was meant for you, Direk.
Ang galing ni Franco mag-segue na no.
That's his sales pitch.
Hey, I'm not pulling.
Franco and all the guys, there's no age limit naman, di ba? I mean, siguro young as what? 12, parang ganon. Pero yung edad ko, parang ganon, may limit ba?
There's
me,
none. Because we always design our training to suit your standard as well, and to your fitness level and all those things. So this is the one thing that people should know about Filipino martial arts. It has evolved. All right, back in the days where there's no use of protective armor and all those things, where you have to learn with pain. Filipino martial arts has evolved. We have full body armor. We are pretty much safe. We use padded sticks for the same training as back in the days, but in a safe, more secure manner. It's so I would speak on behalf of this group, Rene. This group is non-fraternal, so it's not a fraternity where people should come in and have a rite of passage. They have to be beaten up before they become one with us. It's never like that. So Filipino martial arts is all encompassing. If you are here for sport, then this is it. If you are here for a cultural reminder, then if you're a Filipino born elsewhere, this is it. If you want physical fitness, mental health, these are it. So everyone is welcome as well. So it's, as I've said, all encompassing.
Okay, good. That's very good to know. Troy, ikaw naman, Troy. What's your final message?
Yes. I think Richard may have already said what I was about to say, but just to add, so Filipino martial arts, to me, is a very, very dynamic and holistic martial arts. So you ask about, is there an age limit? There is no age limit. So whether you're in for the sports, whether you're in for the self-defense, or whether you're in for the physical fitness, mental health, it's all in just one sort of art. So it's actually put all of these things were put all in sort of one box. So I remember, I think there was one of the things that I was hoping to achieve in teaching Filipino martial arts in terms of physical and mental well-being is to help those people who are having a hard time with coordination, because you will get a lot of coordination
Ah,
from Filipino martial arts.
okay.
There are systems who only do one stick. There are systems who hold two sticks. But
Mhm.
if you try, for example, holding two sticks and then you do the patterns, we call it sinawalis. So it triggers the sensory in your brain to
Oh,
actually
wow.
follow those patterns. So I
Okay.
think there was a group in the United States who put up what they call I forgot the name, but I think there has been a study where they tried it on people who are suffering dementia, and then
Mhm.
they actually get them to hold sticks and perform, say, patterns and
Oh,
stuff. So it helps
okay.
to regenerate
Mm.
the sensory nerves on the brain. So it's one of my vision maybe for my club, to be not only just a self-defense, a martial art or sports,
Mhm.
also needs to be far-reaching. It needs to tap the
Mhm.
health and mental well-being.
Yes.
So
Yes.
in fact, we tried calling it as the Cali for life. There was I think a proposal that I was thinking of in one of my members, where we can tap maybe those people in the aged care. So I
Mhm.
hope,
Yes, I was thinking about that in
yeah.
the
So
retirement. Yeah, I was
so
thinking, yes.
I don't want for people listening to this podcast to think that Filipino martial arts is so for old people.
Mm.
It's not. I mean, we're looking at the health aspect of it. So yeah, I mean, can you just imagine people having a hard time holding something, or
Mm.
they're
Correct.
twitching or
Yeah.
everything, but get them to
Mhm.
hold the sticks, do the patterns, and you'll be
Mhm.
surprised what they can achieve, and then what the
Exactly.
results. So
I like that. I
yeah.
like that, Troy.
So
That's very,
I
very
think
good.
yep. Sorry.
No,
Yeah.
that's very, very good. I like that. We
Yeah.
can involve the nurses and the caregivers working in the homes, and
Yes.
when I was working in the aged care in the rest homes, I will ask the nurses to bring their magic sing so that they will sing, and then the residents will just love it. I think, Troy, that's so wonderful, so
Yes.
wonderful to do that.
Because we would like to have FMA having a lasting impact. So
Hmm.
we don't stop learning. Like we
Hmm.
started, we want to learn it till the end. Like
Yes,
it needs to have a positive impact not only for yourself but for the
mhm.
society that we live in. So
Correct,
I think
correct.
people in this podcast, it will be our objective or a mission in life, that as long as that we can teach, we impart them
Mm.
the positivity that the art can bring
Hmm.
to our students, to our learners. So I think that
Very good.
pretty much what I want
Well
to say
done.
about it. Yeah.
May I
Very good.
add? That's okay.
Yes,
So
yes, Richard, go.
I think everyone will agree that once you start your Filipino martial arts journey, you will be a forever student. So the learning is endless, and
Okay.
the potential for learning keeps increasing each time you learn something new.
Hmm.
All right.
Very good.
So yeah, I think all of us agree on that one.
Hmm. How about Antonio? What are your final thoughts, Antonio?
Um, Hi guys, I would like you to meet my son Carlos, who's also a
Hi,
practitioner of
Carlos.
Prima. So my number one student, my number two student. So as for me, Filipino martial arts has a very special place to my heart, mostly with the family. So we're four brothers, and four of us learned the Filipino martial arts. So Tira Binta, TB stands for Tijero Brothers as well. So
Oh.
myself is Tejero and B. So Tira, Strike, and Binta is if there's an opportunity. So it has a very special place in our hearts
Hmm.
as practitioners. It's not just all about martial arts. It's about uh, cultural identity, and it's all
Yes.
about cultural heritage.
Mhm.
And for me, I am aiming to my knowledge. I'm aiming to pass it down to my children, and hoping that they will pass it to their children as well.
Good, good. Well done. Very
To
good.
keep the fire burning.
Yes, yes,
So,
yes.
in saying that, I'm honoring those people who has innovate this martial
Mhm.
arts
Mhm.
until up to this present date. So I'm honoring my teachers and for the people who have started it.
Okay, thank you so
So
much for that. Thank you
I
for that.
encourage
And
everyone to really find interest of learning Filipino martial arts, and we're here to support everyone.
thank you so much, Antonio. Very well said for that. And Ray, how about you, Ray?
Um, Worldwide, there is a resurgence in Filipino culture, not just in Aotearoa, New Zealand.
Mhm.
A lot of other countries that have significant members of the Filipino diaspora are coming to terms with the fact that they have been disconnected. So I'm seeing a lot of, especially on social media, there's a lot of people that are coming out with a big interest in the old way of writing, getting the traditional tattoos. There is
Mhm.
an author in the United States called Herbert De Leon who's released a series of books called the Alamat series. Very, very
Mm.
big. We had a number one show on Netflix with Trece that deals with a
Mm.
lot of our mythological creatures. So please join the resurgence, join the renaissance of all things Filipino. Um, Come try out Filipino martial arts because it's all part of our genetic makeup, so to speak. So hopefully we'll catch a lot of the listeners and viewers on the 7th of June. That's it for me. Salamat.
Thank you so much, Ray. Very well said. And finally, Juan Miguel, our friend from Chile, who is an honorary Filipino now. So, yeah.
Thank you very much for being an honorary Filipino. Well, I think we all here have the opportunity to preserve this beautiful legacy, especially you guys that you are Filipinos, taking that beautiful element from your culture and passing to your kids or the kids of other families, but preserving and protecting that legacy. As a Chilean, I could say that I focused at the beginning a lot in the practicality of this art, and that increased my confidence. And the majority of my students that I have, when they start with the Filipino martial art, the goal was protecting themselves and protecting their loved ones. And I
Mhm.
think Filipino martial art can help you to protect your loved ones and also improve your pangamut and improve. I'm learning. Yeah.
You said it
So,
right.
You
yeah.
said it better than I could.
Can you please say it again, Miguel? What's the word?
Pangamut.
Panggamot.
Oh yeah.
Your skill with your hand. I think
Okay.
for many people, being better in different, getting some manual skill is important because it's connection with your environment. So on the
Mhm.
one hand, you are going to have the skill for protecting others, but at the same time, you are going to engage with other people and playing and creating relationships. So
Mhm.
I would say with pretty much, I say 100% of the people who I've been training with, we become friends. We help each other, and I want to take some one word that one here. I'm taking a lot of notes, but beside training, you also become a supporting group. The people who train together at the start to form community, and then when you
Yeah.
have some problems, you become so close because you are sweating together, you're fighting together. You sometimes
Right.
call them and have this. Can you have time for talking with me? And this happened with the martial arts. Master Cenista is a great friend of mine. Master Willie, now Antonio, and I think a martial art changed my life for positive. Now I speak English. I moved from another country. I have great friends, and now I having a great meeting. So thank you, and I encourage everyone to give an opportunity to this beautiful practice. Hmm.
Muchas gracias, Juan Miguel. Many thanks. And I'd like to thank everyone, no, Sir Chris, Franco, Richard, Troy, Antonio, and Ray, and Juan Miguel for enlightening me I never realized that my mom was a martial arts arnis expert. Every time she whacked us with the bamboo sticks, you know. But kidding aside, I'd like to invite our listeners and viewers that on June 7 at the ASB Showgrounds, you will meet the gentlemen, our guests, who are the technical working group for the Filipino Martial Arts Association in making here in Aotearoa, New Zealand. It is a movement, okay? A movement that is slowly growing, eventually inviting everyone to join and just come along on June 7 and meet the guys and have a go at it, and just, I guess, also to have fun, right? I mean, to do
Yes,
the this is to have fun, and
it's a lot of
yeah,
fun.
a lot of fun. Yeah. So thank
Yes.
you very much, gentlemen, no. Maraming salamat, at it's an honor and a pleasure. And Barangay New Zealand, the podcast,
Pleasure's all ours, Kuya Rene. Thank you for giving us this platform as well and
yes.
helping spread Filipino martial arts to New Zealand and the world.
And Barangay New Zealand and myself is always here to help in promoting, disseminating, and joining Franco one of these days, Franco one of these Saturdays. Malamig eh, kaya dami rason.
All the more, Direk.
So maraming salamat. Okay, thank you, thank you. And nais ko magpasalamat din. I'd like to thank our listeners and viewers. No? At pinayagan nyo kami pumasok sa inyong mga tahanan, sa inyong mga puso sa mga panahon na ito. Ito po isang napakagandang proyekto. And it's holistic, no? Physical, mental, no? Spiritual. Nandyan yung growth and development. Itong tinatawag natin Filipino martial arts. Atin ito, mga kabarangay. Yung kung ibang bansa, inaako na nila, tayo pa. Atin to. So let us support the group of the Philippine Martial Arts Association in Aotearoa, New Zealand. Maraming salamat po. Thank you. Take care and God bless. Goodbye for
Thank
now.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
See ya.
Maraming salamat po.